Don't you hate it when you watch a poorly made video?
For reals, I think I had to shave my head.
Especially a documentary style video. Maybe the interviews were poorly done or the audio quality is bad. Either way, a good interview can make a good video. So today I'm going to be sharing 4 tips on how to do a great interview. My name is Matthew Havertz. I've done several documentary style videos in the past and I just wanted to share what I've learned through experience. So the 4 tips that we're going to be going over is 1. Use good audio equipment. 2. Meet the subject beforehand and plan ahead. 3. Prepare the interviewee beforehand for the interview. And 4. Make statements instead of asking questions. So the first one is using good audio quality. If you can find a lav mic or a boom mic or anything like that, that would be great. Or simply just grab your phone. That's what I'm using right now to do this interview. I've done plenty of interviews just using a phone for the audio. So my second tip is to meet the subject beforehand and plan ahead. If you can meet the subject before you do the interview, maybe a day or 2 ahead of time, then you can get comfortable with that person. You can ask them questions and you get an idea of where the story is going to go. Unlike an entertaining movie or a scripted video, you don't really get to plan too much where a documentary style video goes. It depends a lot on what the interviewee says in the interview. So if you can interview them beforehand, you can prepare. You know how they might answer questions and you can create a basic storyline. And then with that, you can type up better questions and you can actually type up answers with the questions. I just did an interview with a man who doesn't speak English as his first language, and so he asked me to type up the answers to his questions based on the conversation we had. That made the interview go so much smoother. If you can type up answers to the questions based on a previous conversation, you could say something like this: please don't respond with these answers, but say something similar to this in your own words. And that leads us to the third point, which is prepare the interviewer beforehand. So 1, you're going to want to tell them what the questions are. Give them a copy of the questions. 2, you're going to want to tell them the direction that you're going with your video so they get a better sense of how to respond. Tell them what your video is about. Tell them about previous interviews that you've already done. And then lastly, you might want to prepare them for how an interview goes, especially if they've never done it before. So for example, you could say, please restate the question somewhere in your answer. If I ask you, what's your favorite color? Don't just say blue, because then you'll have just a soundbite of someone saying blue. It won't make any sense. Say, my favorite color is blue. And that leads us to our final tip, which is use statements instead of questions. So to go with the favorite color again, you might want to say, so you told me that your favorite color is blue, right? And then let them respond. Or consider asking why questions. So you told me what your favorite color was. Why is that? And then that's a way for them to naturally respond with the statement in the answer. So they will say, oh yeah, my favorite color is blue, and it's because it's the color of the sky. I love looking up at the sky. And so you get a natural conversation going instead of just asking, what's your favorite color? What's your name? Or where did you grow up? You can say something like, so you grew up in the Bronx? And then let them respond, and it's more of a natural response. During the interview, when there's natural pauses, you could also make statements and say, wow, that's really interesting. You really did that? And that might lead to more that they might say. So consider creative ways to get them to respond with longer answers instead of short answers. And that's my final tip. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope that your next interview goes really smoothly.